Time for more CIS action here in the StarLadder qualifiers. My name is dragondrop. I'm joined by eskillz, and this is FlyToMoon. After taking out Team Empire yesterday, they're up against Effect. The winner of this one will be up against the Vega Squadron in the grand finals for a chance at a LAN here, a chance at the StarLadder. And the loser's out. It's as simple as that, courtesy of the single elimination bracket. So, some pretty normal bands here: Dark Willow, Gyrocopter, actually even the Ancient Apparition, but let's see if Rubik first picked for once instead of as a reaction to Sand King.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and that is, I mean, pretty rare. But I guess the hero is just, I mean, every game we've seen it, it's not only like they picked it because of Sand King, but then like it always follows up with being a lot of more really good spells to steal. So I guess maybe a little in this current meta, it's just the heroes that are popular are just, I mean, great spell steal, so why not?
Yep. We don't want to just gimp your draft so much by just trying to pick up heroes that are good against Rubik when it comes to spell steal. It's just limiting you way too much. I mean, Witch Doctor's a pretty decent one, right? So you can always... But even then, like, you don't get Voodoo Restoration until much later, so until then, Rubik, any spell he gets otherwise from the Witch Doctor can be kind of useful.
Yeah, and of course, like, Rubik is of course more popular now than before because of Nullfield has aggressive potential as well, so you can always tailor a lineup around that.
Yeah. We've seen that before, for sure, but what we've also seen is this very same opening from FlyToMoon in the first game against Team Empire yesterday. We talked about Bounty Hunter. A bit skeptical, but that's actually quite the kill combo if they can roam together.
Worked great for them yesterday, so yeah. Can they do it again?
Radiant team back.
That's sinking. That's also one way to do it.
Yeah, it's has some flexibility, can go offlane or position 4, and you know, just a great great stun. And of course, Epicenter paired with the Nullfield. Once again, that's some combination right there.
Yep.
5 seconds remaining.
It's also one of the go-to heals for Effect. They've picked it up quite a few times in their last couple of matches. Also, one thing to note that I forgot to mention just yet is that these two teams actually played against each other just yesterday in MDL. Less than 24 hours ago, actually. And Effect lost 2-0. So that's something worth keeping in mind before we see the effects, because in both of those games, FlyToMoon went for the Gyrocopter and Rubik opening. And of course, with Rubik picked up by Effect now, and Gyrocopter bans, they're trying to catch FlyToMoon off guard here.
Yeah, I mean, they probably sat through those games and be like, all right, what happened? What did go wrong? Let's start with the draft. What can we do different here? And maybe they find a way of doing it today. So yeah, definitely FlyToMoon. They probably feel very comfortable about this game since they were the winners yesterday.
Yep.
And the Beastmaster band, I like that one because we saw FlyToMoon yesterday. They played it twice, and despite Nogral having really tough laning stages both games, he just came back and had a really good impact.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah. So that taken out, where do you think FlyToMoon is going to go when it comes to pushing power? Because yesterday they also ran a Death Prophet, which is also still banned already. So, I don't know, do you just pick up the Dragon Knight here just to have some sort of reliable push, or do you just not bother with that and go in a team fight regardless?
I think
10 seconds
DP
remaining.
you can always pick very early because she just does well against
5 seconds.
pretty much any lane in mid.
Yeah.
And DK, he's a lot more abusable. Like there's heroes like SF or OD, I guess, especially that does really well against him. So I don't think, although like you can just lane switch it up with a DK. So yeah, it's
10 seconds
they
remaining.
could go that route if they want to, but we've kind of seen that hero fall off a little bit. It's not as popular as it was a couple of weeks ago, I feel.
Just kind of learned how to deal with it. Like, even yesterday, the Zeus coming out, that was pretty sick.
Yeah, that was he made some work with that Zeus. They're gonna have to make a decision here what they want to go with. I would assume they're gonna pick a flex hero though that can go on several lanes.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of heroes that have fallen off, actually, what about Lycan? I haven't seen that guy in a while.
I mean, Psyking is a very nice support against him because you can stun not only Lycan, but you can stun most likely all of his minions too. So it's not the best against that already, but yeah, the hero is really strong. Oh, the Enchantress.
Okay. See,
And,
even more aggression, I like that.
Effect knew what they wanted there, that's for sure.
Pagna. Yeah, I mean, we probably saw the Enchantress. Maybe they're probably thinking about Pagna earlier before anyway.
Question
And,
is, are we gonna see the ET here to follow up with Rubik Pagna ET? That's a lot of magic damage combination.
I'd love to see that again, I'm not gonna lie.
Because I think we've seen effect run Pugna Rubik once or twice now.
It was 2 days ago against StarLadder where we saw that combo. And there was some Morphling and a Tiny on top of that, so 2 core heroes that offer a lot of magical burst as well.
Yeah,
And
so
yeah.
They like this kind of style, which and yeah, against Megalada they made short work of them, so seem to be fitting them quite well.
Yep. Especially in this game, like Enchantress, magic damage is exactly what you want against her.
Yeah.
Even Bounty Hunter, Witch Doctor, neither of these heroes are particularly tanky. So you can burst them down super easy, even Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, I mean Shadow Fiend, sure. He might go early BKB, but that's the thing. You can just keep popping that BKB, and then eventually it's gonna be 5 seconds, and then he's super susceptible again.
Yeah.
And even if he does, like you already have 2 very nice and somewhat easy stuns to pull off with the Rubik lift and the Sanking stun, so even then he's quite susceptible.
Well, in fact, they're probably gonna make that decision right now. Want to go back to that strat again? It makes a lot of sense, yeah.
I think that like ET seems a little bit greedy here because I guess Eng ET isn't really what you want. An ET Rubik dual support you doesn't feel that threatening to an Eng. So I think they're gonna go with the Sanking Rubik. And then there's Luna, and like the Eng is gonna be very, very scared of even being on the lane.
Yeah.
That does sound better to me, at least. But we'll have to see what is used with the 5th pick.
At the very least, Luna is one of these core heroes that does offer some decent amount of magical nuke damage here, even just with Lucent Beam. Being able to amplify that with Pagna rotating in, just Decrepify, Blast, Lucent Beam might just be enough to bring somebody down very easily.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, even failing that, having that available against the Enchantress. Alright, so last man's coming out. Queen of Pain taken away from FlyToMoon. Interesting.
Yeah, I guess that because SF obviously is really good against Pugnamid, because even if he decryptifies, you can just raise him and you do even more damage. Yay.
Yeah.
So I would assume maybe the lane. I wouldn't like the lane doesn't seem that bad, but I guess it's a lot worse than what I'm imagining. So they're just expecting that, hey, he's gonna go offline because they want a better matchup mid.
Yep.
If they can do it.
Well, they have the option to pick that up right now after taking out the Wraith King. It's one of these heroes that can throw a wrench in the plans of like quick bursts.
Yeah.
Quick burst kind of strategies, lineups.
10 seconds.
They kind of lack. They actually lack a little bit of stance on FlyToMoon. However, we said that yesterday as well when they played this Bounty Hunter Witch Doctor.
Yep.
I think Witch Doctor was the only stun they had then too, and that worked great for them. So, but I do believe that like if they could get a Tiny or a Seek here or something like this that has a little bit of a stuns in them, that would be nice for them.
Yep.
I guess Tiny is first ban, so we're definitely not gonna see that.
CK.
I mean, it's
Could
not the
see
best
that.
league
Yeah,
either, but it's okay.
Bit awkward against tanking again with that AoE stun.
Yeah.
Luna glaives, even if not the Eclipse, because you can soak that up with your illusions, but then again, if your illusions end up dying, it's like, eh. Also a bit questionable for CK, who rely on those to be the extra bit of damage.
Yeah,
But,
it's I mean, they could actually I don't know, I'm thinking Void, but he's also pretty susceptible to this type of magic damage with some stuns. But they have some nice heroes to pair with Void. Yeah, there we go.
Choose your hero.
Like, with Ench and Shadow Fiend, and of course the Witcher is just a lot of damage in Chrono in most scenarios, and having this very big lockdown on T5 spell, it's very nice. It's very... it kind of solves a lot of the potential issues of the draft.
yeah. Well, the prerequisite for that, though, is that you're actually able to get that combo off. And looking at Effect's lineup, right, got the roaming task, offlane is tanking here, one would imagine. And Afterlife picking that up in a second. There's a lot of aggression coming out from Effect. Like, they have a very early timing with the Puck now. Once he levels up this blast, you can start taking down towers very rapidly. Not to mention the Luna, right? You also have that early timing where you can rely a lot on your Eclipse as well as your just Lucent Beam spam on top of the control that your teammates provide to just bully down towers, and gonna be down FlyToMoon to then be at the point where they can land these Chronos and where they can dispatch of one or two heroes inside of them quickly enough.
Yeah, I think the scary part with this Chrono is that it's such a long cooldown, and just as you say, their lineup is very pushy and they kind of want to play fast. So if he uses Chrono and it doesn't really, he doesn't get like a big core kill or whatnot, or even whiffs it, maybe doesn't get anyone, like there's a big window for Effect to just push down towers.
Yep.
That is the scary thing about Void here.
So walking down to smoke available on the Rubik here for Effect. They're going out as a 5-man unit. FlyToMoon to try and make that work with spreading out across a little bit more. No fear. They look to be hunting, getting some information early. He has 2 observer wards as well as a sentry, so they'll be getting those out in pretty good positions. This shouldn't turn into anything.
Yeah, nice that I was gonna fly. I don't know if he was like worried about something like this happening, because he just stood next to his tower while Void kind of scared it out, so
yep.
Nicely done.
They've had enough control against the Void, not sure.
30 seconds to battle.
I don't think, like, he would, maybe if Lift came instantly, like Rubik went first, maybe they would have killed him, but they probably would have killed him actually with the Lift into Sanking Sun, into Lunar, Lucent Beam, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Good crunch numbers, and now some other time as the horn blows, game starts. Game number 1 of the best of 3 series. In case you guys are just tuning in, the winner will be up against the Vegas Squadron. The loser is out of the tournament. No fear, he's already doing his bounty hunter thing, looking for the courier, and if they're not careful, yeah, you're picking up an extra ward here. I'm not sure if Effect realized this. Sometimes you just don't think about it.
Yeah.
But no, my King R, yeah, he's gonna pick it up at the base, so
he's aware. But when some lane switching went on here, and I'm not sure what side wanted what types of lanes, but I think this is quite nice for Effect. Like they have this tri-lane against Ench, and she's gonna have kind of hard to reach XP. I guess they're getting Maiden here. Never mind.
yeah, all right.
Forget what I said.
Certainly gonna get XP if you keep killing the other heroes. So just right click them down. Afterlife also got, Alpha Ninja also got pretty low to just right clicks from Iceberg. With the extra help there from Always Wanna Fly. He's not rotating up top, the cast bouncing again onto Afterlife. Ugh. I'm pretty lucky with that on the Witch Doctor.
And every time that happens, I just remember that an old teammate of mine, Dancing Dragon, he always says that cast does not prioritize heroes, and then all of us guys from, that was when we were playing in 4.5, we were like, sure, man. He's like, I tested it. Like, no, you didn't.
Yeah, it's certainly gonna be these kind of situations.
Where
that falls into question. More often than not. ILTW, okay, is actually in trouble. Nofia with a slowdown on level 2. So Janard on top of the Orb of Venom. Luna pretty damn fast on her feet, so she'll be able to walk it off regardless, especially with the extra lift from Martin.
Yeah, and what I thought that Effect would do is that they would tri-lane this Luna. Like, they would make sure that the lane was far back, next to their tower. Then you just tri-lane Ench, I mean. And they don't give her any experience. But with this dual lane, like, they can't really pressure her, especially with Nofir being around, so...
Yep. So much damage here coming out so early between the two of them, but now King R makes the rotation in. They're gonna take it to the chin, trying to bring it down, but the healing sprite's already going, not quite enough to keep her alive, and Nofir keeps chipping away at Martin, who eats a 3 here, trying to block some of that vision. He still gets the kill. But King R certainly gonna be the thing that tipped the scales in Effect's favor in this lane. At least in that instance.
Cheeky little play there. But yeah, I think this is what they want to do. They want to make sure that this Edge at least dies a couple of times, or isn't allowed to play as aggressive as she wants. And then after that, maybe King R can start roaming around a bit.
That's certainly okay. No fear. Number 1 of this game. There it is. Another one. Oh, they get it off.
Ah, he went. That's very interesting, because I guess he's gonna pay for this. But I thought that with 2 points in Shadow Walk, that's why you go with this build. You go 2 points in Shadow Walk, so you will always get the courier. But it's still, he didn't get it. That was weird.
It was like 149 damage or so. Maybe it was just a bad damage roll, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it was the like lowest of rolls, and like that happens like once every 20th hit or something at level 3.
Well, thanks Volvo.
Yeah, that's. I'm sure he wasn't happy.
Yeah. That should help. Oh, what? Okay, Afterlife. Finally ends up dropping up top.
Yeah. And you would think that Sanking, like on a safe line like this, like he would do really well against Void. But Void is actually a little bit beefier than you think. He has 5 armor, and your Cossack isn't.
Bottom lane,
really
still looking through. Von Grada gets the healing sprites off, the shots off the mark actually. Blocking Effect away. We focus on Nofia. They do have more dust available here. Slow him down after he goes in miss, so that'll be very easy kill indeed. And now this time the shots will connect on Grada. No heals available this time, so Snowball, Loosen Beam, another couple of right clicks, they'll blast him down after all, so Trialan just running all over them here, expending a lot of mana though, so something that they're gonna have to repair with the clarities. But certainly staking a claim in this bottom part of the map. Meanwhile in mid, potential rotation around, Always Wanna Fly. He's being scouted though by War across the river.
Ninja's aware. But sure, this bottom lane is. Oh, they're gonna go on a
see no fear though to cast. Not gonna bounce back to Snowball here, just prevents an extra raise from coming out, but the Maledict was enough to finish the job after 2 raises already
was
hit.
Very cocky by him. He did not respect that. I guess when you meet a bounty hunter like this, you just sometimes forget about it, and then you get slowed up by the Junada, and bye bye. Alright, Nofia's gonna try again. Get it this time. And boop, there we go. There we go. That's the way it was supposed to work last time. I mean, it must have been some, yeah, like level 3 low roll that happens very rarely or some stuff. It says 63, but it's actually 56 to 70. Yeah, that's a very big discrepancy in damage, so makes sense.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And we're straight back bottom. LTW is actually super low, so he has to stay in range of his tower.
And
Oh, he's
actually-
not doing that actually. Oh, running into no fear. Does have the Shuri toss in level 4, but cannot quite keep up.
And sure, this Luna, they've gotten kills on Ench, but like she's suffering in last hits, and the other lanes for effect is doing really poorly.
Dire's
Like this
bottom
Void and
tower
SF is going pretty ham right now.
Going on Rubik here. King Arthur made his best bounty hunter impression with the Invis rune. Get the dust off. So yeah, there we go. That was the first taste of this magic burst combo already.
Yeah, and that was King Or is on a mega streak already, 7 minutes in, so he's professional last hitter, kills.
Seems good. Come back to a point. I mean, how much of an issue is that going to be? Because I mean, we talked about the top lane faces Void. Like, it's no problem just going into the Sand King's face and just getting a few bashes. That's something that Sand King cannot really afford. He always has to retreat from that.
It's like ever since the change Cosmic Finale, it's just
Wall mids, they burst on always on a fly. Iceberg next on the list. The ice shots are still there. Ouch. To bring him down.
Very
Side mid
nice.
rotation. That's a 3-man chrono, but there's no teammates here.
I mean, he's not even gonna get King R.
Oh, Nofia might come in. Yeah, he's just there to interrupt the life drain from Alpha and Jay, but damn, that's exactly the kind of chrono that we didn't want to see.
Yeah, now they know. Like, sure, it's a little bit early to start pushing towers or whatever, but Afterlife is gonna be like feeling super comfortable on top. Like, okay, he can't chrono me, so even if I like fall behind or fall low on HP, I won't like feel stressed about that. And it's just a lot of pressure like being relieved for them.
Yep. Well,
Yeah, those kills, sure, Effect is getting a lot of these kills, but the last hits are just a lot better for FlyToMoon right now.
Silent, despite the with chrono, like he's still sitting very high in terms of CS, but also the network because he hasn't died. In comparison to Iceberg has had 1 death on his belt.
They're smoking bottom now. Afterlife gets involved.
Is the
And
clips
Aphanese.
available?
scanning.
They need it. There's a beautiful scan there for Radiant.
And like this, they might be able to go on the ground here with the snowball, but it's a little bit wonky.
Stop with the shots, a catch a glimpse, snowball, burst strike. And the cask! Alright! Cask gaming, ladies and gentlemen.
Dire's top tower.
Always want to fly with a big place.
So rough and really nice by us on Flight to
Radiant's
be
bottom
there in the
tower
right
is
position.
under attack.
Oh, Martin. There's a sentry there who's able to get the lift off on Nofia. Preventing himself from dying, and now the wraparound Alpha Ninja finds Shadow Fiend. Once again, the life drain interrupted. The snowball was there with the loosen beam. LTW even making the rotation in, and therefore ultimate doing a bit of damage to everybody, but nothing more than
Dire's
that.
structures are fortified.
Don't have a shrine
Yep.
up top, so I'm just gonna have to take it on the chin. But they do have
Dire's top
already
tower
the
is
Urn
under
of Shadows
attack.
available on Tusk.
And yeah, this SF and Void, they have a lot of lasses, but when they die like that, that means that he didn't give away that much gold, but it's a lot of experience since he's been farming away. So
Yep.
really big kills for Effect.
Supports much closer to the level 6s here compared to Nofia and Always Wanna Fly. We'll see as I said that though, Always Wanna Fly gets his level 5 at least, getting some time in mid, but now Alpha Nuj, he says nope, you're not gonna get that. Life drain, snowball across. Again King R with the last hit, 6-0-4 now.
Effect is really finding kills
Bottom
everywhere.
lane, alright, there's a chrono, the stun on Grad on the outside to help with damage. Only in the Sand King, but
You did your best.
it's a kill regardless.
Yep. Probably gonna transition into pushing bottom a little bit. Effect is already on the case, moving as a unit to top lane.
This might be something
Radiant's
that's
middle tower is under
FlyToMoon do not necessarily expect to TP it in. Thought they might be smoking up here, Always Wanna Fly holding on to 2 of
Dire's
those
bottom tower is under
in his
attack.
inventory, but now okay. They see Enchantress now. Nongrata immediately gonna be bursted down. That's a Fields Batman right there.
And that was, he doesn't even have a point in outfield yet. And that was like,
Yeah.
there we see how good magic damage is against Enchantress.
Yeah.
The hero
Just
is
2 points
so
in the
low,
Crepify, like this.
Actually, I think what's his name? Nongrata actually tipped in with power threads on int. I think that if he didn't have that, he might have been able to. No, actually, he didn't have nature's attendance.
Is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh.
Kills everywhere. For effect. I mean, looking at the last hits, it's very in favor of FlyToMoon. But effect is finding kills everywhere, so the goal lead is just barely about 1,000 for FlyToMoon right now.
Radiant's middle tower
I
is
mean,
under
what's this Networth actually going to do for Silent right now? I mean, he's going for the Battle Fury, which is more of a farming item than a fighting item.
Radiant's
Yeah,
structures
it's
are
pretty
fortified.
greedy, so
Radiant's middle tower is under
if,
just- Yeah,
Speak.
are they just banking on them being able to take his late game just with the threat of the Chronosphere?
I guess that is what to do, like, because yeah, he's gonna be he's gonna be a very bad hero outside of Chrono when he goes this Battle Fury build. Like, no more Shadow Blade, because if you go that build, you can actually at least be somewhat useful even without Chrono. But with Battle Fury, you know, you're just gonna be a walking Chrono.
Yeah.
So definitely greedy from Silent here, but it could also pay off. So.
Now we do see Iceberg going for the more standard build here. Tries just to get some extra stats, and then same for the Aquila, and then straight into the dual scepter to be able to set up for ultimates.
tower are scanning.
And we've been talking about how squishy FlyToMoon is, but some of Effect's heroes certainly will be one-shot by that combo.
Yeah, for sure.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And Effect, they're just poking away to this mid tower. They should get it with another Nether Blast here, so. Also, Fly is working hard to deny it.
No fear.
Radiant's
it.
middle
Oh,
tower
so
is
close.
denied.
Almost got the courier again.
Did they just like realize that, hey, he's probably gonna snipe it? Did they just... Oh, no, never mind. It was on the way back.
Yeah. Oh, Silence! Is TP got interrupted? That's a bit of an issue. More TP's in. Does have the time walk, but can't just get it off.
Actually,
More control
could
here.
be
Man
fine.
with long TP.
Dire's top tower is
Needs to
under
get in range. King out. Another ice shots. Blocking himself off. Not ideal, but Afterlife. No
Oh
blink
my God,
dagger
he's
just
fine.
yet, so he's actually
Dire's
fine.
middle tower
Damn.
is under attack.
It's always so scary. Everyone's TPing in, and
Fortified.
you got your TP cancelled.
It's so much space there. No free sees the courier now this time.
Peter!
Dire's courier is
Somebody call Peter! This is not fair.
Mercy.
I get the revenge on Iceberg, perhaps. You're almost dying to the combo between Afterlife and Alpha Ninja. Afterlife's gonna have to finish it up himself. It's not quite fast enough. It's always gonna fly. Created some issues for the partner, but well, sacrifices himself. Meanwhile, Luna actually gets dropped. A Silent drops down the Chrono. Well, that's possible.
TV must have been farming on low HP because
Yeah.
there's no way he kill him from full there. Or at least I can't imagine.
Especially not with Marden this close. But he got the Chronosphere, so that's something.
They can definitely look to do a big
Dire's
move with
top
this
tower
one.
is under attack. Dire's top tower has
Gotta be
fallen.
careful not to attempt to use it against the Void itself, because that turns bad very fast.
Yeah, for sure.
Still don't think that should be a thing. Void can move in Rubik's Chronosphere.
It's a little bit weird actually, for
Yeah.
sure. What can you do?
Well, it's the wall again. No, he's gonna fly. He's gonna die. Again, still without the null field just between the two of them, but there it is. Silent coming through, no Chronosphere. Let's get the instant bash jump to King R, slowed down by the sigil. Martin, it's in the lift, doesn't have it for a while.
And Ogrado on top here.
Oh.
Let's get Pugnut.
Ah, okay. Nothing more than that to say about that.
He has a hood now on Ograda, and he still can't really survive through all of this magic damage.
Alright. Still though, despite everything, it's not just Silent who's keeping up in terms of net worth quite well, of course, courtesy of the Battle Fury. It's also Shadowfiend, still ahead of the Luna. Like, that's a max Glaives Luna, so LTW hasn't had the time really to actually catch up and get even.
Yeah, just from the laning phase, like he didn't really get destroyed or anything, but he just like he struggled from laning against his Ench, and it's showing right now.
Yep.
Oh, they're finding Silent here.
Ooh, it would be a big one, and shots.
Yeah, that was a void.
I wish I didn't have my camera on that because it was not safe for work. I mean, ugh.
It wasn't.
Well, they get the kill, they get the tower. Top lane, Grad and Iceberg were just going to bring down Afterlife, but he's able to extricate himself out of that situation. Still attempt to defend this top tower a little bit. Should be fine, there's no detection here.
And he has his blink now, so that is it's really useful for effect. They have this snowball and the lift, sure, but the blink will really enable them to take fights.
Yeah. Look at No Fear. Just sees the entire team here bashing away these tier 2s, so they bring out anything on the courier that's gonna take that path, so he's just camping it out, even as the ward up in the high ground here. Huh?
Is he gonna get it?
What's on there? It's the Asha actually, a couple of sentries.
Does he see it on the courier? Oh, now he sees it.
Yeah. We'll get it on the way back. Oh,
Oh.
will he? They know. They know.
I mean,
Right, okay, there's the Chronosphere. Catches Pagna, got the... No, didn't even get the Grab Fire off, so no more right clicks. He's actually still alive. Now the Burst Strike on 2. Cat's bouncing around, but there's the Eclipse.
wow.
Turning is into a full 4-man wipe. The only reason it's not a 5-man wipe is that Longrada is somewhere
Right.
else entirely. They just... What happened there? They just got annihilated.
Yeah, I mean, SF couldn't follow up with enough damage, and as mentioned, with this Battle Fury, like, you don't do a lot of damage yet on Void. You need more time to get this. Going Shadowblade now and then another item, then that's when it's really gonna start, like, providing a lot of damage, but just wasn't enough, and I mean, Effect just turns it all around.
Sizable amount of damage here to this mid tower. Still sticking around, actually. No Fear this time he gets a courier. Alright. He's let out again, and they're gonna take the fight. Bounty Hunter will end up dropping the LTW. Still in trouble with the track, working quite well with the impetus. Nangrada is gonna get that kill. It's King R TP's out in front of them. Ooh, quite the bloodbath here, as it turns out.
Yeah.
Now finally Luna is, despite the death, still ahead in terms of net worth here after being part of all that.
This game is pretty much, it was a point there where FlyToMoon felt like they were kind of getting bigger and bigger goalie. They were up to like 2,000 or 3,000, but straight back down to basically even.
Yeah.
And another smoke ank from Effect. They're not letting the gas off in this game.
Trying to intercept Iceberg here, but for now he's still sticking around.
I'll take your tribute.
Very aggressive here. He does have this one ward in the backlines. Not sure if that even scouted out the smoke. Regardless, it's going a different direction entirely. Might catch a raid inside here. They, oh, especially if they can blow up Silent to begin with.
Ench here.
Does though. All right, they figured there's probably gonna be that guy. They also have the wards down. Nangrada still alive. There's the Chronosphere. The Death Ward not going to be working together with that. The Chrono stolen once again, but again, it doesn't work against Silent. Meanwhile, there it is. It works against the Shadow Fiend, but the bashes are there. Alpha Ninja is no way out of this one. They still burst down the Shadow Fiend. That is about it. Not the cleanest engagement there from Effect by any means. And Silent now he does have that Shadow Blade, so more scouting potential, more initiation potential from that.
With a Chrono like that, it doesn't matter if you don't really provide that much damage yet.
Yeah.
Team is gonna be able to. Yeah, that was huge from Silent, and That was a couple of trackies as well, so cost so much more than just giving away deaths
Yeah.
or kills.
StarLadder was shooting up from about a 1k lead to a 4k lead. So Effect gotta be very careful about that. Like, they're the ones initiating, blowing somebody up. That's one thing, but if they don't, they catch no fear. Well done. It's actually giving Martin a run for his money, but yeah, I think they probably saw him here with the Observer Ward running in that general direction, plopped down the sentry.
Yeah. I mean, he's being very obnoxious to them. He's been killing the courier 3 or 4 times already.
Yeah.
And you just build up frustration when you meet a bounty hunter like that constantly kills your courier.
Oh yeah. Never a fun time. Alright. Effect. Try to take matters into their own hands still. They have this push line up here. They can reliably take down towers. Case in point here, Alpha Ninja blasting away this tier 2. So it's only the tier 2 top of left standing as far as the outer tier towers are concerned for FlyToMoon.
Yeah.
The question is, how does Effect turn this into a high ground push? Is that still scary with the Chronosphere at this point?
Yeah, I guess the Chronosphere, if it's up, they basically need
How? Oh, they have a bunch of sentries in this area. I was gonna say, how did they see Rubik Day with the Stolen Shadow Walk?
We have a lot of sentries actually.
Look at this though. LTW in this rune of his own, rotating in. Sees everybody. Think about the Eclipse. There is the Chronosphere, tanked up by Tusk. But with the entirety of FlyToMoon there, LTW is doing well not to engage into that.
Yeah, with the amount of sentries that was there, they're lucky that ILTW did not get spotted.
Yeah. Rolling the dice, more or less. Alright, oh. TPN. It's nighttime, so not spotted by FlyToMoon actually. It's top tier 2, very low indeed. No fear, looking for a target. I'll run into Afterlife here. But always want to fly already TPing back, so that'll be the end of it. Should be a deny coming out, and Mart's already working on it.
Yeah, and BKB finished on SF. He's quite strong now. We're going for a BKB on Silent as well, so he's going a safe route, and he will rely on his teammates to make the majority of damage in Chrono. Although now with the Shadow Blade and Battle Fury, like, he provides a fair amount.
Well, the Ghost Strike, they have the dust. We'll get no fear.
Nope.
It's life of bounty hunters sometimes. You walk in for a track and then you get initiated on. Now Roshan. It's a big one, but this is the BKB timing, as I said. This is so big for FlyToMoon if they manage to gauge into this. There's StarLadder. He's just waiting for an opportunity to cast. Already doing its thing to bring LTW very, very low indeed.
And this tells you what position Effect is in, because they know Chrono is down here. They know it's at least half a minute or so, and they still don't feel confident going into Roche. So
it's biding their time, waiting for that to come off. Yeah, now they can just go into Roche themselves.
yeah, and I mean, they're happily taking a fight here if Effect wants to, because they did finish this BQ. They have 2 BKBs actually, so they're very strong right now.
Luffy's also keeping an eye on Afterlife up top. That's the one big way that Effect could be taking a team fight here, with the Blink Burst Strike, Epicenter and everything else being dropped in. Trying to blow somebody up with that magic damage combo. Because,
can it get out?
Yeah, it should be fine. There's BKBs or not, like if you Blink Burst Strike them before they can get it off, you still have that option. Plenty of time to throw on that burst. Man though, okay.
Yep.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Did get the D ward though with the sentry, but dies for it.
Hashtag worth.
Let's go with that.
Right. FlyToMoon, slowly but surely. I'm just getting more and more control of this game.
Yep.
Let's say that though. Alright, always on the fly. Well, that's just this guy, right? He keeps doing this.
I mean, it's base.
Yeah.
Illusion.
Really is. I mean, it's 4 people running you down. Know exactly where they are for a while.
And now that sure, even if his team is winning ever since 7.11 patch, your deaths are based on your net worth, not your team's net worth. So he doesn't really give anything to the. He gives 273 gold, which is, you know, okay, but
Not the end of the world. Now that is FlyToMoon. Start cleaning through some more of these objectives. The 2 minutes has been taken care of, and now we're picking out King R, who's TPing out. That makes a lot of sense.
he could be an ILTW now, so
I'll take that.
That's gonna save him though.
no, not really. Like, I can see why you need it against SF and like Cask and Shuriken Toss, but it's like it's a lot of threats still on the side of FlyToMoon.
Therefore, Chronosphere, Impetus here, Blink Initiation, he'll find no fear, but an exchange for Martin. Silent. Alright, there it is. Gets a Chronosphere off. Impetus starting to work. Epicenter being channeled up, but Iceberg pops a BKB, trying to bring it off on Ninja at the same time. With a couple of raises, he will be successful. Effect. Yeah, dropping like flies left, right, and center, and all of these kind of skirmishes. Now Afterlife. He's not out of the woods yet either. Gets Yuled up. Into the blink. Was it Stone Yules? It was indeed. So King R, he'll take the spill instead. Not trusting his teammate to keep himself alive. And, well, at the very least they can't get to tier 2 because the creep wave is not there. Instead, they might be able to find a tier 3 here, smoking up, making a beeline towards the top lane. Now, there is still a catapult. It's something that Afterlife cannot clear through easily.
Run,
So,
guys.
yeah, they will be able to do some damage here. None of the effect heroes have buybacks.
They're actually gonna get Drax here, I think. At least in, oh, maybe with Glyph? No, it's not gonna be enough. They're gonna get the melee.
That's not how much I want to commit here. There's no BKBs, no... At least another couple of seconds. No Chronosphere. Martin trying to slow down. Alpha Ninja is back. There's an Epicenter available, but yeah, just way too much power. Epicenter's being channeled up now. Blink. First strike catches only no fee. Even if he dies here, which he's not even going to.
Yeah, I don't even think...
Actually, never mind. King R coming deep for that Iceberg with a BKB. No ultimate to work with, so it's just gonna have to be the raises.
LTW from behind though.
Oh, okay.
Could be
Eclipse. But the BKB is dead. Eclipse just bouncing on the creeps.
big.
Nothing really accomplished with that, and now there's Sebastian's the cast bouncing back to King R. LTW without the BKB, nothing to protect himself here. One more right click will be enough for the Impetus, catching him.
Nice kill, silent.
It did get silent though, they did get the Aegis on top of Ninja. You'll Scepter just to stop that life drain, gets a blink out to the side. And, well, throws on the ultimate again. Couple of raises, Afterlife. Actually a lot of trouble here if he does have one more, and he does indeed. Effect, they're not getting clean... not getting clean escape kills here, even King R.
Wow,
Committed in way too deep as... Sure, they got a few kills, they got the Aegis, but they gave up so much for that. That's another full team wipe. There's no way Alpha Ninja gets out of this.
No.
Yeah, look at this, force of a cross. Not enough mana for more impetuses actually, so...
It's a slow death.
Very slow death indeed, but... I would have loved if he turned around and killed Iceberg. He was still super low, but...
Yeah, that was pretty cocky by Iceberg to try to go for that kill.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's looked pretty good there for a moment. Like they would, when they killed Silent, they was like, hey, this is actually going their way. Like Iceberg doesn't have BKB, but yeah, it in the end just another huge win for FlyToMoon. And that fight was without Chrono, so it was like it was FX time to shine.
Yeah.
But they did not manage to.
Straight up outmaneuvering. Just dodging the entire Eclipse, just between creeps, BKBs, and even just out of Defiance here for the Enchanters to keep us safe a little bit better.
Yeah.
Just this lineup from FlyToMoon coming together a little bit more crisply. A little bit crisper than Effects is right now.
Yeah, we just see the power of Void. Like every time you have chrono, it's so easy to take team fights. You just get a 1 or 2 man chrono like on important targets, and yeah, so hard to do anything about.
There's no counterplay really, unless there's some sort of Pugna on the outside. I mean, Pugna's got here's the air disc actually after Ninja. Smart itemization in that sense.
Yeah, not so bad.
And if he's got on the outside, he can always decrepify somebody. Unless the target is BKB, if LTW gets it off and still gets chrono, that might actually work against him at that point.
We're actually Hex on Iceberg now, so that's very scary.
Yep. It's extremely scary, yeah.
And MKB also, so they're like ridiculously strong right now.
Might just be the push to end all pushes.
I mean, they can for sure go higher, and I think they're gonna be just take it easy, wait for Roche, play it safe, but yeah. Maybe get the shrine.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
Some of these other objectives clear through. But certainly if they find an opportunity, then take it right now. Dire Ward actually keeping a good eye on these movements here.
Yeah, that's usually a ward that you try to D-ward when you make a push like that, but I guess that FlyToMoon didn't feel like it would be a fight or anything, so they don't care.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Just thinking about gems here for FlyToMoon, it's actually effective to pick one up first. King R with the gem, of course. Give it to Afternoon. Where is it actually?
Tanking.
Tanking, alright, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, it's like either you buy a gem because you're so far ahead and you just want to strangle the map basically, or you buy a gem on the losing side because you want to try to get something.
Yeah.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
It's almost mostly to make sure to catch out Bounty Hunter, prevent Nofir from just scouting out freely.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the gem for FlyToMoon as well.
Yeah, alright. Okay, there's a smoke. Catch anybody here. LTW gotta be
There's the
super
maiden.
careful.
No for cancels him.
You should die here, right?
Yeah. And
I guess you're more
no, they don't have a creep wave actually, so they can't even iron if they want.
LTW taking care of that with the
Iceberg on
illusions.
top lane.
Oh,
It's getting up
okay.
Ninja.
That's a big kill, and now BKB still going, King R. Oh, after a perfectly timed burst strike actually with the epicenter, everything committed. Burst them down and will be successful without any more casualties just yet anyway. No fear, forced up forward, cancelled the TP with the extra right click, gets King R.
And ILTW
3-for-1 trade, and yeah, he's not even out of the woods yet. Now it's on the fly, just drops down and therefore the Chronosphere is slightly off the mark, so therefore doesn't actually hit anything. The burst strike into the Chronosphere. LTW is still alive for the time walk forward. The stolen Chronosphere catching quite a few heroes actually.
That's
Unfortunately, no damage to follow up because the buyback still came through after Ninja now. More burst down, that's always on the fly. Another burst strike here if they can get silent. They can stay in the game. Tidewalk and Failman now, but a punch up into the air will prevent them from getting it off. So, ooh, that's a gem on attack as well. FlyToMoon lose that immediately. Effect with some much needed breath of life here in that high ground defense. It cost them still a few buybacks though.
Yeah. And the tough part is that Luna did die. She couldn't enjoy the feast of gold there. But and of course, Luna is the hero they need to become like ridiculously fat to win this game. So yeah, nice for them to get those kills, but they desperately needed it with those 3 buybacks. So
In fact, staying in the game, and if you look at the graph, it's still looking rather grim.
I lost connection. Okay, but
Interesting. The grass still looking rather grim here. 18, 19k in favor of FlyToMoon still. Experience in a similar area. Win probability, not so much, but I guess about 90% or something.
I'm
95.
back now at least. So
Yeah.
yeah, like They're probably just gonna go Roche now. It is up, so as soon as they've sniffed that out, they're probably gonna go in there. And Iceberg is finishing Octarine, so with the level 25, 40% cooldown reduction, and the Octarine, the Hex is on a 9.9 second cooldown, by the way. So race is 4.5.
Thanks, Ice Frog.
It's pretty ridiculous. BKB 30-second cooldown.
Yeah, it's very balanced.
So
It's very
ridiculously
balanced.
strong. And then an Octarine on that, please.
Oh god, no. Picks it up to... Oh no, it doesn't actually get to Nofi. He finishes it up himself. In fact, try to go for this fight. Can most one fly stop healing, please, because it gets annoying silent. Oh, there's the Chronosphere. He wants to just finish up Luna. Will be very successful. Also gets a few extra records in onto the task effect. Drop 2 of these heroes, none of whom have buyback. And,
Ninjas.
well, that is. They burst down, but no fear again. Can they get out, though? No. Surely Afterlife dies.
Yeah, he doesn't have big. Yeah, stun though. Maybe.
Then look for Martin. Alright, he's actually fine, but... Okay, never mind. His friend isn't. 3 heroes down, no buybacks. I should know that too. Iceberg. Yeah, guess what? He has that ultimate available again. And this triggered, and immediately burst it down afterwards.
Boom.
And this is over.
Yeah,
It's just
no
how the
buybacks.
game ends. GG, well played. Nothing left here for a fact. And FlyToMoon, they make it work. Once again.
Yeah. They won yesterday, and so far it looks like they're gonna win this one as well. But maybe Effect can come up with something new.
Yep. Certainly gonna have to find some sort of solution to either this bounty Witch Doctor strat or alternatively the gyrocopter.
FlyToMoon, they just look really strong, really solid. And sure, they had some hiccups here and there, SF feeding, or feeding, like just dying a couple of times, but overall, they're just executing the strategies better.
And with that, we're gonna take a short break, but we'll be back for game number 2 in just a few minutes, so don't go too far away.